Hello, everybody. We are live.
Hey guys.
Hopefully, the sound is all right.
I think it is. Yeah.
It
Yeah.
should be. Well, hello. We're gonna be talking about ciphers today.
Yeah.
Going straight to the point. Oh yeah, make sure to follow us in all of our social media. They should be in the description. But yes, we're gonna talk about ciphers.
All that fun puzzle-y stuff.
Yes. Well, for anyone that maybe doesn't know, a cipher is basically like a cryptic text.
Yeah, it's like
Essentially?
it's sort of some sort of media or puzzle that has a way of being solved, but is to this day not been solved. Like it doesn't need to be ancient or anything.
Yeah.
It just needs to be a really.
And hello, Belen.
Hi, Belle.
But yeah, there's different types of ciphers, obviously, and like a lot of them have been deciphered. But yeah, I'm always like fascinated by the ones that haven't been deciphered, because like, I don't know, it just.
Sorry, trying not to get logos on here. We're not.
It's okay. It just like baffles me how like people that dedicate their entire like life and studies to that can't like figure it out.
I know, yeah. Well, there's actual like historians and like professors who've dedicated themselves to trying to answer these, and they just still can't. It eludes them. So
what were you going to talk about today?
Today I am going on about the Sierra 13 ciphers and a sort of the world's most high-end ERG.
I've never heard of that one, to be honest.
Basically what it is this modern cipher in which it is what people say is a test by some sort of weird secret organization or shadow government or shadow company that using.
Is it from like the US or?
Oh no,
like
this is worldwide.
Oh. Okay.
So a website popped up with a strange like moth symbol as the main thing. Turned out that was a clue to the first puzzle, and there's been this long journey in which it's each step of this sort of mystery requires high-end knowledge, like university skill knowledge in multiple areas, and there's real-world clues that are left around the world. So like there's definitely some large organization who's got the money to stick or manpower to stick.
And like why? What's the purpose of this? Is this to like hire people that are like smart?
No one knows. People get to a point, and then they sort of just don't talk about it. They seem to just disappear after a certain point. But it's either that or people. Like no one's came out confirming that they've solved the full thing.
So is it like is it like a creepypasta type thing then? Like,
no,
is it
it's real.
It's
real. No one has any clue where it's going. I just heard the phone go off.
Yeah. Anyway,
yes, but sorry, we were just waiting on someone.
Yeah, no, it's okay. I can like continue talking about my
I'll
introduce
listen,
my topics. I wanted to talk about the Zodiac Killer, obviously, because I think like my main theory, because most of his like letters and stuff have been deciphered, but there's one, I'm not sure if it was like the last one, but there's one that has like a few characters that haven't been deciphered. And like my main theory is that he made it undecipherable because like, I don't know, he just wanted to have everyone hanging and like just, I don't know, breaking their heads over an undecipherable cipher just for no reason at all. Because that's entirely possible. Like,
well, yeah, again, the one thing about ciphers and all that is that we're assuming there is a key to solving it. Sometimes there isn't.
Yeah, well,
as far as anyone can see, there isn't. There might be some sort of link that's only the person who's made it knows it, but
the thing is, there doesn't
small.
Necessarily have to be a key. Like there's ways of solving ciphers without having a key. Like for example, in the documentary that I was watching, they were talking about looking for like the word like kill, because like double L was the most like repeated like letters and stuff. So that can be a way of like at least having a place to start. But it also depends on a lot of things, because like we tend to think that like ciphers are like just written normally, and like every symbol equates to one like letter, but it can be in like a million different ways. Like for example, one symbol can equate to like one syllable or like a group of like letters. It doesn't necessarily have to be like one sound, because well, that's another one of the ciphers that I was going to talk about, but I'll carry on later if you want to finish. I'll continue talking about the other one. What was it called?
The Sierra 13 cipher. And if you look it up, the main common link that people have between this one global puzzle is the fact that this one moth symbol, like sort of printed, like as it looks like it could be printed like with graffiti, is the main link. It's what it's known for. It's where a lot of the clues are shaped and linked to. But again, there's just a point in which people can say they are progressing, but then no one's ever came out saying they've completed it. So there is some sort of secret thing. And there's
maybe they have, but that's
just
the
like
thing.
That's the theory. Yeah, that's the theory. Is that this is used by this weird shadow organization to recruit the most educated people out there, the like most intelligent people out there to work for them for this mysterious cause.
I think you might have mentioned this to me before, because I remember we were talking this one day about the film Exam, which is this like weird, obscure film. Although I think like Mila Jovovich, I never know how to pronounce her like last name, but she's in it, and it's pretty much the same thing. It's like a group of people, they get into a room and they have to like do this test to get into this like very like secretive like, I don't know, organization and all that stuff. And like it's very like Saw like. It's not that extreme, but like the tests and all that and everything's like, the ending is just fucked. Like my cousin and I, it just blew our minds.
Yeah, it's really weird. It's because again, there is links, but at certain points they'll just go, oh yeah, we're on about neurology right now, or quantum computers and that, and now we're on about geography and ancient history and like lost languages and shit, and it just goes completely all over. It's not as if it's specifically for one type of intelligence. It goes all over the spectrum with it.
That's kind of like nitpicky, isn't it?
Well, yeah, they're obviously going for the highest of the high, the cream.
No one has that much time.
You'd be surprised, and that's the thing. It's like no one knows that. They might not, but no, that's just the end of that first one.
With smart people.
My second one I was going to go on about, if I can find it. I can't remember the name of it. What was it called? The book one.
The Voynich manuscript. It's also like one of my favorites because it's so cute. Like we uploaded a story to our Instagram today that I found with like a few pages of it, and it's so cool because like one of the pages has like a dragon and everything. And like a weird tree. But yeah, do you want me to pull the picture up, or are you going to talk about it?
No, I was just looking for the shot, the actual name of it, because it's the
Voynich manuscript.
The Voynich manuscript, and it's just the fact that this is one of those ones where I was on about where it might not even have a way of deciphering it. Yeah. Because there's a belief that
it's like a botanical, like this is gonna be.
It's oddly satanic in a weird way.
It's not satanic. It's just weird. It's like mystical and like it's just full of like weird creatures. And here's a dragon.
There's a lot of theories of where this came from, and the fact that like it could easily be just a madman who's lost his mind, and this is his way of expressing that.
When is it dated?
I don't know. I can't remember.
Because like it looks very medieval, so it could be like a very or maybe just like
Voynich manuscript,
or just someone on drugs in the Middle
Ages.
That's
the thing. That's the thing. Is like that's what a lot of historical people believe, is the fact that like it could have quite easily be a guy who was just self-medicating with these traditional medicines,
weird herb things that he's trying to document in the best of his ability.
This most likely came from the same time people were using hot milk of the poppy to
I mean, I'm pretty sure there was a time in humanity when everyone just like
it is
experimented
carbon
with weird
dated
stuff.
to the early 15th century.
Oh yeah,
so
Middle Ages.
between 1404 and 1438.
Yeah.
So
it looks very much like it.
But it's written in an unknown language, so no one has a clue what this language is. Again, it seems to go all over. It doesn't seem to have much sense, and
it's literally like a biology book or something, like documenting like different plants and like astrology stuff as well,
and like animals and creatures, and even like, but there's also
maybe like recipes or like spells or something.
Yeah, because it's like detailed diagrams
or
as
like,
well.
Yeah,
and then there's to the point where there's pages that pull out sort of it, where it's not just this one sort of thing. Yeah, like you can actually pull out pages like one of those old magazines, and it's just weird. It's obviously very old, and it's a thing, and it's like barely survived. But like,
well, yeah. Do we like? Is it fully conserved?
Yeah,
Where was it found? Why do I not know more about this?
It's in Yale University right now.
Oh, cool.
Date unknown. Parchment dated early 15th century. So they've had to carbon date it just to figure out when it was written. So they've just literally like looked in the pages and then looked how old the pages look. Possibly, literally, it doesn't even have a determined origin. It just appeared one, and it's just possibly
maybe.
It literally just says
it came from
possibly northern Italy, just possibly. And it's like we don't know. It looks like it could be like
interesting.
So it's obviously traveled a lot, and people have like.
Well, but that doesn't necessarily mean like the fact that it's in Yale right now doesn't necessarily mean that it was like found there.
No. I mean, that's the thing, is the fact that like anyone could have been there.
Especially with it being so weird, I can assume that like whoever found it, like once you get to a point where it's like, what the fuck is this? Like,
yeah, exactly. Like it's just one of those things where, and that's the thing, is like books back then were seen as a sort of valuable thing.
Yeah, that's
it was
another
like
thing.
it was
that's true.
way of showing off your wealth, is that you had the money to waste on a book rather than feeding your family, sort of thing. But it's just one big mystery. It could, like, a lot of people believe it's a man's visions of heaven or hell. There's a lot of people believe that it was from aliens, a man's visions of aliens. Where he was visited by aliens, and then they gave him all this.
I mean, maybe the book was written by aliens, and they just like dropped it.
Well, that's the thing. That's another theory, is that this book is religious in origin. The fact that like it's from heaven or hell, and it's an index of all other creations that the sort of gods just didn't decide to make. That's a brilliant one, which I think's brilliant. That's
all the rejects.
Yeah, it's just
the catalogue of
it's
rejects.
just God's scrapbook going, no,
what
yes.
should I make next? But yeah, that's weird.
And then he decided to make spiders with butt rope.
Butt rope.
Give it 8 legs, give it 8 eyes, give it butt rope. But yeah, and it's just amazing. And I think like logically, the theory that it was just a madman who, because again, religion during those times, no matter where you were from and what religion you practiced was a very influential thing. So it would make sense that someone tripping out of their mind would think that they're getting like forbidden knowledge from a devil or an angel, and just going, I need to write this, like, and just sort of just lose their mind. That's the thing, is like knowledge itself wasn't widespread back then, so people didn't know how to write, people didn't know how to read, and that. So this could be generally some random peasant that's going, yes, I understand this. He's made his own language out of scribbles.
I mean,
it's entirely possible, and that's why I find it so funny. Is that as some random dude who's been eating the wrong type of mushrooms that he stole from a farmer, tripping balls, and he's just like, I know what this means, and he's writing in his unpronounceable language that he's just made up with his 5-year-old brain. It's the fact that like people because we're stupid humans and we hate the fact of something that doesn't make sense or have a pattern, we're like, no, there has to be a key, there has to be a cipher, there has to be a way of understanding. No, it's entirely possible that some guy was just really high on his peasant ass and just sort of ate too much mud.
Yeah, I don't know. That's kind of what I always hope, that like all the undeciphered ones were just meant for that
one person,
for them to not be deciphered.
Because that's that the thing. It's like
the
story. It's like the stories of kids who, as kids, make up their own language.
Yeah.
And one never knew how to do that. Whatever kid, I believe any kid who did that for fun, psychopath right now.
Excuse me.
That takes
a lot of. Are you calling me a psychopath?
I won't put past you. You would be happy to be a psychopath. You'd love how smart you would be. You would be a sort of Zodiac Killer. It's like, bitch, he is dead.
I'm back, bitch.
I'm back, bitch. And just God. Like, oh, hi, Sergey.
Oh, Sergey, yeah.
Oh, you said right. I like the way you said it.
The right way.
The right way. But no, it's just like, I have no clue how kids manage to have the knowledge to just make up their own language.
It's hard.
But I've never understand it. Even the Pig Latin one, I have no idea what Pig Latin, like how Pig Latin works. Like,
have you never had, I don't know, to decipher something for school or some shit? Like,
Nope, never. I think closest to that is I learned how to write in Braille, which seemed counterproductive because they can't really feel it when you write it down. Like, that's the one.
Well, but at least when you see Braille, you know what it means.
Usually Braille's clear though. It's you don't see it, you feel it.
Well, you can see it.
Sometimes.
Sometimes
there's bottles like
the medicine.
The medicine one where it's right at the bottom with like a thin, tiny layer, and you have to like trust that your fingers caress the bottle in the right manner for you not to get it. It's like alcohol.
But yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm pretty sure at some point I've had to do that in school, like as some sort of activity.
No, our schools weren't that smart.
Or do you know where I've probably seen this before as well? Like teen magazines. Like sometimes, like back in the olden days where they had like tests and like different shit. Like you probably like never seen this, but like
which Hannah Montana character are you?
Yeah, but like not just that. It's like they would have just like different like just brain test thingies and gracias. But yeah, I'm pretty sure like they had like ciphers and shit like that as well. But yeah, I always try to think that they can't outsmart us. They can't outsmart me because like I'm not an academic or the people.
I thought you were gonna say they can't outsmart.
I mean, in general,
smart.
No, in general, like smart people.
I never wrong, bitch.
I don't know.
You can't.
I can't believe that the Zodiac Killer is like smarter than the rest of the world.
Oh, that fascinates me. That is like pure psychopath. It's like he knew how intelligent he was.
Yeah,
and just thought, "Hey, police, fuck you."
Because like from the start, he would like tell police, like he would call them and like, tell them like, "Oh yeah, do you know that there's been a couple of people that like have been shot dead?" It was me.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it wasn't necessarily like that. It was way creepier, but pretty much.
That pretty much was it, though.
I'm exposing myself in my pajamas.
It was
nothing. Carry on.
Oh, your holes.
No, it's just continue.
What? I'm just on. She's got shitty pajamas on. They're falling apart. She refuses to get new ones.
Continue.
But no, it's the things like that. If it was like halfway through a massive killing spree, yeah, you'd understand the fact that they would get cocky. But it was the fact that it's just straight from the beginning. He just knows that he can get away with it, and there's that confidence that from the get-go, he's
like,
really.
He would also like leave because he would call from like telephone boxes and stuff, and he would leave the telephone like on like fucking hung.
Yeah.
So they could find it and like they could know from like where he had phoned from, like, but they never found any like fingerprints that like matched anyone. Well, there was like one main suspect, but I don't think it was him, to be honest, because like
oh my God,
the fingerprints and the palm prints don't match. But if I was a serial killer, and this is another one of my like serial killer lessons that are like not to be taken seriously.
I'm not a psychopath. I wouldn't do stuff like that.
I would make another person write the letters for me.
Mm.
And if I went to prison like the Zodiac Killer did, I would like have a backup plan, like have someone to be like, oh, if I go to prison, like continue sending
Making
letters.
it look like it's
So
not me.
exactly, so like they are definitely gonna think that it's not you.
But
If you
that
have them
reminds
like
me-
prepared, because like if you're like, oh, if in case I go to jail, you write a letter that's like, you think I'm fucking, I don't know, you think
You
you
think you got
imprison
me?
me? Yeah. So it's like,
I leave bitches.
so yeah, that's what I would do.
I think one of my killer tips would to be bury wherever you need to bury your body. Either one, bury it in a graveyard. Not gonna be suspicious at all.
Yes, it is, because like
They don't keep
fresh
track.
like dirt. Yeah, they do.
But at the same time,
At least someone has like a walk around a graveyard once a day.
yeah, cool. All you need to do to get
Just in case like some
Oh, do
asshole
you know-
kid or like some like
do you
homeless
wanna- yeah,
person's
but,
not
like-
sleeping there or something.
yeah, you know what you do is you just bring a nice fresh layer of grass to put over the top with you.
You can still tell.
Yeah, but like people aren't going to be looking that well. Well,
You can tell. Trust
or
me.
you could just
Especially someone that works in a graveyard, they're gonna be able to tell
Oh,
because
right.
they're gonna be able to know that
Or-
that's not been like that for like months.
or the
Unless
one is to bury it
you
somewhere.
bury it in a fresh grave.
There you are. See,
See, you didn't.
or
you
right
hadn't
next
thought about
to,
that.
but or the
We're
other
fucking
version
psychopaths.
is to bury a body bit deeper and then
Obviously.
over the top put the like dead body of an
Oh
animal.
yeah.
Oh, what's that? Dead body under there. Scratch, 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 scratch. Oh, it's just a dead squirrel. Let's keep moving. Bitch, no, it wasn't. 5 more meters down, you would have found a body.
Yeah, but like fucking dig a cave, like dig a hole that's like 5 meters deep.
True. Well, I wouldn't make
You
it
would need
too
a fucking
deep.
bulldozer.
But if I need to hide a body, I'm pretty sure I've got enough reason to keep digging. Like it's like, oh, I can't be asked anymore. Do you mind digging for us just to the dead body in the chair? Just like
That's a fantasy.
oh wow.
Yeah. What were we on about? This
Zodiac Killer and how cocky he was and how
Yeah,
brilliant.
I don't know. It's just like it's so weird.
I bet he had a sexy mono.
Because like that's the thing.
Sexy serial killer mono, bro.
The thing is with like him like using the phone and stuff. Don't you usually have like witnesses that are like, oh yeah, I think I saw a guy like using the phone or like.
But that's the thing is like,
Well, he
it's one of
usually
those,
was like covered, but at the same time, it's like, how would you walk around with that on your head and not be noticed?
That's the thing. That's only for when he was doing the act. Like anyone who's just walking around, all you need to do is cover his face a bit, and then.
But he
just
would wear an
takes-
entire like fucking executioner's hood
No, yeah,
with sunglasses.
Yeah, but I highly doubt he had that on while in public, like doing
He killed
the thing.
people in public.
No, I know.
Literally.
I know that, but like, there's a difference between when like that would be a bit much. Again, when your face is plastered around, I highly doubt anyone's gonna look at a phone box of the guy dressed exactly like that and go, yeah, it seems alright. Yeah, it's okay. So I imagine when he was making the calls, yes, he could be acting suspicious, but like. No one's gonna look at a guy who's just using a phone box, especially when that was
but like
people's
that's
main
the thing.
choice
But
of-
that's the thing. Like when people go missing, when people get killed and stuff, you have witnesses. You have people in the shops that remember seeing them and like that day, or like in a bar or whatever.
Mm.
Like not necessarily like CCTV. It's just like people that remember seeing someone or remember seeing a
That's the
car.
thing. It's like CCTV wasn't a thing back then.
No,
was it?
yeah, but like that's the thing. It's like I don't know. Sometimes you like for very oddly specific reasons you remember certain things because you notice someone's like shirt or like because you like bump into them or I don't know. It's like that's what eyewitnesses are.
yeah.
Literally.
But like that again, that's the thing is I think like he knew how to manage himself when he needed to be into this sort of persona,
Hmm.
in which if he needed to get away with something subtly, he managed to like cover himself up in a way that wouldn't raise suspicious.
Yeah,
Like thing where you
that's
just
the
make
thing.
yourself that
That's the
you
thing.
you hide in plain sight. You make yourself look that generic that no one's going to think
Yeah,
of
but that's the
even
thing.
remembering it.
Usually when you're looking for someone, it's like, oh, have you seen a person of these characteristics like lately? But it's like, have you seen someone at this time? Because we know at what time the calls were made. It's like, were you there at this time? Or like stuff like that. It's like there was only one person in the phone box at that time, so they saw them or they didn't. That's what blows my mind. It's like, did no one see him? Because like at one point he was calling from a box that was like in a gas station or some shit like that. It's like, did no one see someone at that specific time on that phone?
That's the thing. Is like it's hard. Like you say that, but who's going to remember where
sometimes
they are
you do.
at a gas station?
Sometimes you do.
Yeah, but it's the thing. Is like it's that mundane of a situation that it like stuff like that you're not going to.
Yeah, but like sometimes you just have like odd things.
I don't know.
Make
Sometimes. That's the thing. If he was smart enough, he would have known to try and make himself as like unnoticeable as possible, and to try and stay as low as possible whenever he's given the police the bird. And he's just like messing about, because that's the thing. Is like that's the extra mocking part of it, is that he's being able to hide in plain sight.
Yeah.
That he can literally just walk around in public and no one has sometimes. I know sometimes, but yeah, he's managed to like hide in plain sight, and he just evade them whenever like he wanted to. He had full control over the situation.
Yeah. And what I was like researching, because like when I was looking at the dates, like when all this happened, I'm like, wait, this wasn't this like around the time of like Charles Manson? And actually, the first murder ever committed by the Zodiac Killer was a year before the first crimes committed by the Manson family.
Oh.
So it was all around like the same time. Because like you always hear that like Charles Manson started the whole like serial killer thing.
Well, no,
but
yeah.
Like, and actually like now that I think about it, like the Zodiac Killer was in San Francisco and fucking Charles Manson was in LA. They were both in California at the same time, active, killing people. What the fuck? And I'm pretty sure that like, because in the documentary, they also said that like Richard Ramirez started being active as well at that time, and all that. I'm pretty sure that Richard Ramirez, he was also around
there's
LA.
a surge of serial killers.
I swear.
In that time.
It's so strange. Because like the thing is, it's so strange in the fact that like it's not that they saw it on TV or anything. Because like, or maybe, because I don't know. Did Charles Manson ever like hear about the like? I don't know
he was
doing his own thing, but like that's what I find interesting. Is like, how can this all happen in such a like short span of time? Because like if you go like maybe like a decade later, you get a lot of like copycats, but not like necessarily like copycats like as is, but like people that see other serial killers and they're like, oh, I'm gonna be a serial killer now.
As well as that, I feel like but
like before it was unprecedented, kinda.
I feel like the surge of like mental health and use of drugs sort of fueled it as well. In which like it was pretty much a lawless land. That was the thing. It was like the fact that like crime was quite high and like people were free in their minds and just doing what they wanted. And like a lot of people, for everyone, maybe that wasn't a positive thing. Some guys just off his face and goes, "I want to kill people," and then just goes and does it.
I mean,
and he's that smart and he's that bored that he can get away with it, like with ease.
But the thing is, it's so strange because like the only motive that I can find for the Zodiac Killer is literally like notoriety.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like as soon as it started,
is that a good enough?
Well, yeah, because that's the thing. It's like a lot of psychopaths are egotistic. They want to prove that they're better.
Well, yeah, people. He did never get caught. So.
Yeah, exactly. And for someone to have such a brutal sort of
because that's the thing. He usually never. Well, he did stab a lot of his victims. I think the total was like 6 victims, maybe, and like a lot of people survived as well. I think like around like other like 4 or 5 people survived, but he killed a few people with a gun, which is usually strange, kind of. Because
like most serial killers take a slow pleasure, and it's sort of ritualistic in a way.
Not necessarily that. It's just like the coldness and the like distance of like a gun. It's not like hands on. It's like from blunt. A distance. And
it was
like,
blunt and just. It was the fact that it's something about it was like just.
I mean, at the same time, it played into the
so
factor.
Untouched.
It played into the factor of him being like fast, though.
Yeah, that was the thing.
And him not having like blood on him.
Yeah, and that was a thing as well. Was the fact that like it did play into the idea that he was just doing this for a laugh, There wasn't some sort of weird psychological thing for it. He just generally just wanted to kill people and show off the fact that he could get away with it. There wasn't some sort of personal thing against it. He just thought, yeah, I'll kill people. And that's the thing. That's what scared people most, is that he threatened to go after multiple groups of people, didn't he, including school children?
Yeah. He started obviously like sending letters to the press and all that stuff, and that's the ciphers stuff that we were talking about. But not all of them were ciphers. A lot of them were just like regular writing, and like they had like diagrams and everything where he explained how he was gonna bomb a school bus.
Yeah, and then he had a backup plan as well, and he was explaining his backup plan that if the bomb failed, he'd shoot out the tires, and then as the kids are getting out the bus, he'd shoot the kids. It was in gratuitous detail. Like, it was really, really in detail. And I was thinking that's how cocky he was, is he would generally just tell the police and the media his plans in advance, and then
because a few of them did actually like become a reality.
Exactly, and that's the
another bus one. Jesus, don't cry.
Sorry.
Oh. Don't cry. Don't die.
Don't.
Oh, don't cry.
But no, it's the fact that it was a show of power for him more than anything. It was the fact that like he knew he had the full city on high alert, and that he could just control them with this pure fear that he was having.
Yeah.
I won't. Don't worry. I just nearly died on my own throat, on my own hair. But again, it was the fact that like it comes off as very egotistical, and people like he did give off the extremely intelligent vibe.
Yeah. Which is very frustrating.
He did was planned. And then you hear the suspect, and I'm like, it's the suspect sounds like a cartoon character.
Yeah, but at the same time, like the one situation that they were talking about, where it's like this one day where the Zodiac Killer tried to kill this couple in like this lake, the guy, the main suspect, he said that he was gonna go like diving in that lake.
Yeah. Oh.
And then he came back all covered in blood, which he said it was chicken blood, which I think turned out to be true.
I don't know how,
but that's another very good alibi. It's like
it's just
you murder two people, you cover yourself in chicken blood, you say it's chicken blood, and no one's gonna think more of it because it's chicken blood.
That, but like that's the thing. It's just like
he's just a psychopath.
That might be that for me. Even as a person, that's hard to believe. You must have done a shit job of carving up that chicken if that you got that much blood all over you.
Yeah, but if it was tested and it was pig blood, and didn't it? Not pig blood, chicken blood. But didn't he have like a lot of like dissected animals and stuff? Maybe he was just trying to like dissect.
I believe so. Yeah, it was either that or a different suspect where he was a very, very big lawyer and just had dissected animals in his fridge. Yeah, I think it was the same guy. But
he always
said the fact that he had a Zodiac sign watch, as if it's his morphin thing, like he's the Zodiac Power Ranger.
It's what I was saying. It's pretty much the other way around. Like he didn't brand his watch. He didn't merchandise his own like watch or like customize it. It was just like more a matter of like, oh, this is a cool fucking name or whatever. Although it would have been very dumb.
I would have laughed if you literally was like, hey,
but it's
do you know
it'd be cool
though. If I mark myself by having that's the inside of my watch have the Zodiacs.
But that's the thing, like it's such a coincidence. The main suspect for the Zodiac killings has a watch that has literally both the Zodiac sign and the Zodiac spell. Like how much of a coincidence is that?
I'm not sure. Have they actually eventually found or got a good idea of who the Zodiac Killer is?
Well, they closed the case in 2003. Well, it went cold in 2003. Then in 2007, they tried to reopen it. And then in 2018, they were like trying to figure out if they could DNA profile picture him thing.
Oh, yes.
Like if they could, like, just like DNA profiling. Which is basically when they take your DNA and like nowadays we have the technology to be able to like know what characteristics someone might have had from their DNA, like height more or less, or like like skin color, like ethnicity, or like I don't know, stuff like that.
Very sciencey, wimesy stuff, like very.
Which is very interesting because I'm pretty sure they've already caught like at least one person with DNA profiling.
I'm pretty sure that's how they figured out who Jack the Ripper was with DNA.
Yeah, well, I don't know if that's how they figured it out, but they might have definitely like DNA profiled him.
Yeah, or very least used it to sort of with like DNA that was left at the scenes or something like that.
Although I'm pretty sure no DNA has lasted has survived from back in the day. Because
Well,
back in the day, it wasn't even fathomable.
I
to
don't know.
collect
Yeah,
DNA.
I don't know what the thing with that one
But
is.
I'm pretty sure
researched into
someone
that
has
one,
been
but-
put through like DNA profiling, like recently, of course, because it's a recent technology.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Have we got any more?
Yeah. I was gonna talk about linear A.
Oh yes, go on then. Tell us about that one.
I first learned about linear A when I was in high school because I did Greek and Latin, and we always did like etymology and stuff, which is like the origin of words and all that stuff. Because mostly we did it in the sense of like from Greek to Spanish or like modern languages. Because we didn't do like modern Greek; we did ancient Greek.
Yeah.
Hopefully, okay.
Oh,
It looks like
there
it's
we are.
going. Okay, all right, we're back.
There.
Okay.
I'll
Yeah,
just
yeah,
catch
yeah.
up. It's fine. Oh,
We panicked there for a second. Oh no! Oh, it's unstable. Oh no.
oh no. Sorry guys if you've lost us.
Well, hopefully, I'll just carry on talking. Anyway, like hopefully this will
Sergey,
still
can you
like,
hear? Connection is strange. Oh, I think
No.
it's fixed
Yeah.
itself.
Hopefully it has.
Stupid fucking student Wi-Fi.
Yeah. I mean, it's good enough. It like.
Thank you for the help, Sergey.
It like I can upload videos like pretty fast. Like my Wi-Fi at home, I can take like a fucking entire day to upload videos. But anyway, linear A. I learned about linear A when we were doing Greek because it's basically like the super origin of Greek. Because Greek comes from linear B. I'm pretty sure, and linear B comes from linear A, and like linear B was deciphered as Greek in like the 1960s,
Right.
but linear A hasn't been deciphered, and I believe it's like one of them syllabic like manuscript things where it's like every symbol is like a syllable, or like a group of sounds, and yeah, it was mostly like linear B was mostly used for like royal stuff or like accounting. Which is pretty much what they used like written language for back in that day. Because it's wait, I forget when it's like dated, but it's like 1600 BC.
Because that's really intriguing. That to me is the fact that like there's got to be an origin for language.
Yeah, 1600
like,
BC. That's fucking
my word. Like there's got to be a moment where we stopped going ugh and started using actual words that we created.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna read directly from the text because like it's a lot of stuff. But basically, linear A was borrowed by the Minoans. No, from the what was borrowed by the Mycenaeans from the Minoans. So like I think the order was the Minoans, the Mycenaeans, and then I'm probably getting all of this wrong. Anyway, it's just like the oldest type of Greek, and it's kind of relevant because a lot of modern day like words and language comes from Greek and Latin, so it's like
that's the thing. It's like it's one of the most like even the English language has got a lot of words that come from Greek origins.
Yeah.
So it just shows how far and how deep this sort of strain of language is, and how much history there is behind it.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. So it's attested in Crete, in the Greek islands, and in the Aegean Islands from 1850 BC to 1400 BC. And yeah, that's that. But when I was looking that up, I was looking for other like more ancient ones because I'm pretty sure this isn't the most like ancient undeciphered like written language, and I found that the most ancient ones, I think, at least according to Wikipedia, are the Jiahu symbols, which are Chinese, and they are 16 markings, and they're prehistoric. Neolithic.
That's interesting though, is the fact that like what classes as a new language is it like what then is classed as a new language is the fact that like a bunch of symbols that have been used locally to have a meaning, like that's pretty much what creates it, and it's fascinating. And that's just the thing. It's a group of people decided this I means this. Cool. Let's all see. Let's all agree on that, and then
But
go along with
the
it.
thing that fucks me up is that it was excavated in 1999.
Really?
Yeah. And it's
That's
like,
early.
and like I said, it's like Neolithic. So
My
it's
God,
like,
the fact that it's lived that long, it's survived that long over the years without being destroyed.
It dates to 6600 BC.
It's the fact that we can even date that far back. It's fascinating.
Like, that's just so fucking old. That's like,
just
we're not even that far
drawings.
into the other side of the BC. Your mind just exploded. But yeah, it's basically
fascinating to me because it's literally these little symbols that have managed to survive the test of time.
Yeah.
And we've found them only just now.
It's the language of the Peligang culture, which was a Neolithic culture, like they said, in the Henan province of China, and they existed from 1700 BC to 1500 BC. And
it's even got the Chinese names for it. There's no way of pronouncing that I can think of.
What this?
No, at the bottom for the name of the lands it came from. The symbols.
What, that?
Yeah.
The Chinese.
I know
the
that.
literal Chinese symbols.
I know that. I'm not saying as if that's a dead language. It's like, what's those strange unknown symbols? That's Chinese, Kale.
But yeah, I don't know. I thought it was very interesting because I never really looked into like the most ancient, unsolved, like undeciphered one. And there's another one. I wasn't going to talk about this one. Before I go, I'd like to tell you thanks for your live stream. I feel that I'm improving my listening in English, and every time I understand more things in live streams. Thanks and bye. Oh, that's very nice.
Thank you.
That's very
glad that we could help.
But
Man, you're learning English from a Hartlepoolian's probably not the best option.
Well, I mean that definitely means that like. Yeah, I wasn't going to talk about this one, but there's this like I think it's in a. Is it in a university? I don't know if you've heard about this before, but it's basically like sculptures, and they have like different like ciphered texts, and like all of them have been deciphered except for one.
Oh, I think it was on our list, wasn't it? I think
Probably.
We have been on.
I don't know if it was like in a university or like in like some government facility or something.
No, I think it's university. I think you were right the first time.
I'm gonna.
The Shepherd's Monument.
No. That's just. I don't think it's. See, that's the thing. I don't. It's gonna take me like if I properly look into it, I'm gonna get to it. But like, it's gonna take me a while, and I don't want to just.
We can tweet about it later. Yeah. See what the questions are and update people.
But yeah, I forget what the other ones say though. The other ciphers that have been deciphered from that
I can't.
bit. But like, do you know what I'm like talking about?
I think I've got an idea, but again, my memory's vague on it as well. So I've only got an idea which I think one's you're on about. Are the ones that are in the UK?
I think they're in the US.
The US, I don't.
The Shepherd's Monument is the one that's in the UK.
Right, yeah, that's probably the one I'm thinking about getting mixed up.
No, that's just it's a statue, and I think it was built in like a house or like a palace type thing, and it just has like a sequence of letters that hasn't been like deciphered, but they think that it might be like a signature or just nothing.
I think that reminds me of another monument out there, which is like the 10 Commandments that it like for the future. In which there's this massive monument out there that, in the case of worldwide Holocaust, is there for the survivors of it all to like not lose all morals.
And it's a cipher.
No, it's not a cipher.
Because like
it's
we
like,
would be fucked.
But like it's one massive like.
Where is that?
I can't remember. I can remember hearing about it, but like.
Well, the 10 Commandments for the Apocalypse. But yeah, I'll find the other one that I was talking about, and I'll like put it in the description, as well as the documentaries that I've watched about the Zodiac Killer, and a brief article about basically what linear A and B are.
If you want to look into the Sierra 13 ciphers, there's plenty of documentaries you can find on YouTube about it. Many shorts, many long. Just like everything there, depending on how deep you want to get into it.
But I think there was a film about the Zodiac Killer, wasn't it?
Oh, I think there is.
Oh, and we forgot to ask the question of the week. But yeah, our question was, mine is, I was gonna say like, who do you think the Zodiac Killer is? But I think I'm gonna go with like, do you think the last bit that's like not being deciphered of the Zodiac Killer notes, if it's just like mumbo jumbo to keep us all like wondering forever, or it actually means something? Because I think it doesn't. I hope it doesn't.
And my question is going to be similar in the fact that with the texts, I've already forgotten the name of it. The Voynich manuscript. What do you think that's origins are? Do you think it's just a crazy man rambling, or do you think it is true visions of a otherworldly force?
Because the thing about the Zodiac Killer is that he said that like if people deciphered his like letters, they would reveal his identity. Yeah. But the thing is, it didn't reveal his identity. It was just like his like plans are just like fuckery. Because even then, in one of his letters, he talks about the Exorcist.
Yeah, I really like that film, and then it's like, yeah, cool film. Anyway, gonna kill some more kids, and like he would make claims about how many people he's killed, but like there was one where he quite blatantly said, "Oh yeah, if you can decipher this will give you my full identity," and it never got deciphered. They couldn't do it.
But that's the thing, like maybe it's just nothing.
Yeah, he's making it as a strategy to waste their time and stuff like that, and that's the thing. Is like, could it actually be all one big plan, or is he literally just like getting the police to follow wild goose chase? You would think someone that like
enjoys doing this type of stuff and like hopefully for themselves wants to keep doing this for a while. They wouldn't necessarily like, because even just by like sending tips to the police and all that stuff, that's like risky enough. So like I don't know why the clues themselves would like directly point towards him. Like I would guess it would point like away. For example, like the whole like school bus thing, it was probably just to like get police to like because obviously like a city only has like so many police officers, and if they're in like high alarm and like high demand, like chasing around like all the school buses, they're not going to be in other places. So like obviously as like a police officer, you can't really take that as a red herring, because like it's like, but what if it is true? But at the same time, it's like,
and that's why he posted it to the media as well first rather than the police, because he wanted that attention on these, so that people would focus on them, and the police would be forced to focus on these letters, because they couldn't just ignore the evidence that was in the public's face without getting backlash. So they needed to focus on this. But yeah, I think quite an early one this time. We've went through our little puzzles quite quick, which is quite ironic.
It's just the thing is, the thing with ciphers is like the cool thing would have been to like maybe try and like decipher it ourselves, or like.
But I'm not smart enough.
We can do it. It's like keys online.
Am I gonna go full Da Vinci Code and eventually have pure chance?
I like the Da Vinci
turn into Nicolas Cage and just what is it? Was it Nicolas Cage in the Da
No,
Vinci
it's
Code? That's a Treasure Book of Secrets.
What's his name? Fuck! How am I forgetting the one in the fucking Green Mile and like Forrest Gump and everything?
Oh, Bruce Willis? No, that's the bald one.
Yeah.
I don't know why I said Bruce Willis. He plays Woody as well, doesn't he?
Does he?
Yeah, from a Toy Story.
I didn't know that. See,
Tom Hanks.
Yeah, that's
it. Yeah, that's definitely him.
But yeah, I actually watched the Da Vinci Code like not too long ago, and I really liked it. But I haven't watched Angels and Demons.
I was going to say, the sequel film's quite terrible.
Is it?
That's what I've heard, is that the sequel.
I mean, it's still really based on a book, isn't it?
Yeah. But like, it's just one of those things that apparently just didn't translate well at all. It's a lot of Jason Bourne style sort of 16 shots of the same climb fence. Have you seen that clip? It's so funny.
No.
There's a genuine clip in one of the Jason Bourne films where there's about 16 different shots of the main character, Jason Bourne, climbing over a fence. And it's so funny because it's so dramatic, but it's literally just like him climbing from different angles. It's like, this is stupid.
Oh,
it fills a good 30-second like time lit up in like, was no need for that. But yeah, apparently that's what the later films get like. Where it's just like, how do we make a mystery film like action packed? I don't know.
I mean, the book is supposed to be like action packed as well. It's just like it's more like the academic and like brainiacy part of the thing. It's like it translates better on paper than on like
where the details can be put in. Meanwhile, a movie has to fit into like an hour and a half slot.
Yeah, and it has to kind of explain things to you visually. It's not like you can like read them and like just go back to them and stuff like that. Because I'm pretty sure that's what.
Completely off topic though. I was just watching a video about Shark Tales and how garbage of a film that is.
It's not.
Have you heard? No, it is.
It's not.
It's the least subtle film out there. The anime. Did you know it came out the same time as Shrek 2? And the animation.
Well, yeah, because I used to have like a DS game that was not a DS one, a Game Boy one, but I used to play it on my DS. That was a double feature. It was like double feature. It was the Shark's Tale and Shrek, but like it wasn't like both at the same time. It was like separate games. Like when you turned the thing on, you had to pick. And they were amazing games. I used to love playing them.
First off, Will Smith's character in that is the biggest douchebag like fish ever. And second off, is the least subtle. I think his pufferfish boss is played by one of the
Robert De Niro.
Yeah,
or something like that. I've never watched it.
He's played by one of the most like famous.
Or Al Pacino.
No, he's played by a famous director, like a really.
Robert De Niro. No, not Robert. Yeah, Robert De Niro.
Yeah, he's played by him. And
fucking what's his name? Oh fuck! I'm embarrassing myself.
Nice. But
because he's the other one with the eyebrows.
The stoner jellyfish as well. Come on, that's a bit problematic.
It's not.
We've got these jellyfish characters. What shall we make their character? Well, they look like a Rastafarian with a hat, one of those hats on. Just make them massive stoners. Who thought it was a good idea to put Will Smith?
Yeah, it is Robert De Niro.
Jack Black.
Jack Black is Lenny.
Is the shark? Oh my God.
I didn't know that. See, that's the thing. This is a thing happens to you when you're like foreign and you watch like films in your childhood like without like dub, because then you grow up and you research them for some reason, and now I realize that the fucking
Angelina Jolie's.
Renee, what? The girl from Chicago is Angie. Roxy Hart is Angie. See, this is the what? Oh, okay. Martin Scorsese is the other one with the eyebrows that I was talking about. Martin Scorsese is the one with the eyebrows.
To play the jellyfish.
Oh, Ziggy Marley. I didn't know it was one of the Marleys.
Oh my God, that's brilliant.
And Katie Couric. Oh,
but it's like, as well as that, you look at it now as a fully grown adult and you realize how nonsensical the story is. Oh, when the antagonist fish girl comes in, what song did he play to describe her? She's a gold digger. Oh, I wonder what they're getting at there. Very subtle. It's literally this literally just points in it. Shrek was a kid's film and it was more subtle than that.
But it fucking.
Do you know what they wanted?
Not everyone wants the same thing from their films.
As well as that, the Mickey take brands that are featured in it, though, the fish themed brands.
Yeah.
Do you know Gap? Gup.
Terrible.
Coca-Cola, Coral Cola.
Oh yeah.
And Fish King. I was like, Fish King? That's supposed to be Burger King? And I was like, that's just terrible.
Yeah, because they're cannibals.
It's awful. And some guy I was watching in this video was going into detail saying all of this happened like either in 1 month, all this film happened in the entirety of 1 month, or it took the entirety of a year to go by, and neither option makes sense. And like none of the film makes sense, but like it's the fact that Will Smith's character doesn't even learn anything. He's still a douchebag by the end of the film. He's just a douchebag with friends now. It's just an awful film. Do you know what's a brilliant underappreciated film though? It's a Disney one. Osmosis Jones. You're gonna love this. What? It's Inside Out before Inside Out was a thing. Osmosis Jones was Bill Murray. I believe Bill Murray from the Ghostbusters. Yeah, Bill Murray is this like fat, like disgusting oaf of a man who's like got a daughter who pretty much takes care of him because he's like a divorced, depressed guy. He doesn't take care of his body at all, and his body is a working city. And like,
oh my god, it's actually called osmosis, as in like the
yeah.
the
And you follow Osmosis Jones, a buddy detective, as he's signed up to with a new partner who is a painkiller.
Lawrence Fishburne.
He's Lawrence Fishburne's in it.
And Chris Rock.
Oh my god! And
Chris Rock is Osmosis Jones.
I love that, and it's such a brilliant film.
Bob.
That's the thing. Is like Drix's is like he's literally just it
Ron Howard. Oh
and
my!
honestly,
William
it's
Shatner.
it's kind of fucked up as well because the basic antagonist is this really deadly disease that hasn't been discovered yet.
Uncle Cracker's a kidney rock.
Oh my gosh! But it's so funny, like a Kick Rock, Kidney Rock. He
both Kid Rock and Uncle Cracker are kidney rocks. Okay.
Kidney rocks. Oh, I love that.
I love your dump ass.
Dump ass. That's the thing. Is just like it's short.
No. But that's the name of the guy.
Oh, it's brilliant. And oh my god, it's so funny and it's such a brilliant show. Like movie, and it was one of those straight to TV ones, but it even got its own like mini series afterwards, where apparently in the mini series, despite Bill Murray getting his life together after the corrupt mayor gets kicked out of the body, because that's the thing, is that it's full on like execution style. Oh, you're not good enough. Out the body for you, just die in the real world, because it's shown that if they go outside, they will just do that thing where like it crystallizes and like it's like you get that amber stuff on you, and that's them dying basically. So like either straight out, but like it's brilliant. It's a buddy cop film where like there's a hidden virus that they're trying to kill before it destroys Bill Murray's body and like reproduces and that. Oh, it's fantastic. But like in the TV series, despite in the movie him getting his life together and acting more healthy now that his body's under new management by a new, less corrupt mayor, because that's what makes him decide his body is the mayor decides what he's going to do as a human.
That's cute.
Despite I'm sorry, I'm rambling, but I've really got to finish it.
Okay.
Despite the film saying that he's got himself in order, TV series comes back. He's still a fat oaf, and Osmosis Jones and his mate,
I can't get over that.
And his buddy cop pill mate get sucked out the body by a mosquito. They then get transported over to a random teenage kid's body. The mosquito bites him. They get transferred back into that kid's body. So now they're in a complete new city who's in a kid's body. And then it manages to fit in that they're helping the kid like teach life lessons. It's like, oh, we got there. This kid just wants to work hard. I'm going to change that. And he just puts an orb of like a memory of what the kid has into the kid's main like focus. And now it's a girl. And it's like, this is weird. I have no idea what's going on, but I love it. And it's such a brilliant thing. Oh, I love Disney, how stupidly creative it could get before it decided to make Will Smith the genie.
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
We've got just enough time just to tell about some horror news. And that's that there's a new film coming out that you're not looking forward to.
We talked about the Chucky already.
Have we?
Yeah.
Oh.
I think so, at least.
I don't think we have. I think we have to our group of friends.
No, I think we have, because like I think we saw the trailer right before going live. And it was awful.
Tragic. It is awful. Although Luke Skywalker's now going to be Chucky.
Oh gosh.
I love that man because he's managed to be a Jedi, a psychotic criminal that's beaten to death by a rich man in a bat suit, and now he's playing a hyper intelligent AI by the looks of it.
I'm not looking forward to it at all, but at the same time, I'm very interested.
I want to know how they explain why he's.
Because that's not going anywhere. That's not getting any sequels ever.
Oh God, no, it's not. It looks
unless
awful.
It goes back to like.
That's what the thing is they don't realize that bringing back the sort of cheesy camp horror.
No, they can do it, but it's just they changed Chucky completely.
To it. hyper
And I hate
intelligent.
that.
That's the thing, is the fact that
It's
like,
just the face and everything. It doesn't feel right.
like how are they gonna explain why this like AI wants to kill a specific kid and
'Cause
also
it's
has a New
real.
York accent? Like, why does the intelligent toy have a New York accent?
I mean, it had in the first one, I think.
Well, but that's because it was voodoo. That was because it was a guy's
Oh,
actual
that's
living
true.
body in it. How are they going to explain that with an AI sort of smart home thing? Where Chucky's now got a fucking Saw style ability to just control the building all around him. Ah, like so awful but so hilarious. I'm gonna laugh so hard if it
I have
fails.
to watch it. But yeah, we're out of time after this very long tangent about films.
Sorry,
So
I got distracted.
I'm afraid we're not going to be able to have a show next week because I have my concert thing.
Yes, you do.
So
Well,
we'll have to see.
I could always do it myself.
You can host it
although
yourself,
It would probably
or
be
you
a
can
bit
host it
nice.
with Andy.
I could.
Because
Andy would be
Andy's
good
been
for that.
wanting to go on the show.
Yes, well, you just get meet Andy, the big man Andy. I think it'll be more chaos next week then.
It's
but
okay. I'm not
but
there,
it'll
so
be
I
a
don't care.
fun type of chaos. So I'll be happy to see you next week then, guys. I'll take care of you.
Follow us in all of our social medias. They'll be in the description below, as well as other links of interest. And yes, we'll see you next week.
Bye, guys.